As the COVID-19 restrictions are slowly eased, there is a cautious wave of optimism running through Brisbane's restaurants. Hi, I'm Jeremy Ryland, and this is a G&M COVID update. Today I am going to be self-distancing with some of Brisbane's top chefs. This is restaurant Dan Arnold in Fortitude Valley, owned by Dan Arnold and his partner Amelie. Dan, the restaurant shutdown came without much warning. How did this impact you?
I think it was a huge impact on us from the point of view, like you said, it came around very quickly. We'd obviously followed things closely, having family and friends still in France. We thought something was coming, but we thought we probably had a bit more time. That being said, I think it was for the necessary to close the restaurant when it was closed by everyone.
I think everybody had to close for a short while at least anyway. You've been doing some takeaway. Your menu isn't normally suited, I guess, to takeaway, but you've been doing this nice innovative menu a la maison. How's that worked?
It's actually been really well received. We're probably not takeaway from the traditional point of view where it's hot food going out. We're doing an at-home meal, 7 courses where people can put the finishing touches on at home. A lot of people are going all out doing really some creative plate-ups of it, but at the end of the day, most people are really loving it.
Have people been sending you photographs back?
Yeah, we've got a lot of photographs back from it actually. A couple of people we might give a job to when it's all done.
You've just announced that you'll be reopening on the 13th of June. How do you think that's going to go? You'll be just opening obviously for 20 guests. Is that economical?
We're just going to open for 20 guests, so we'll be doing 2 sittings on an evening. So we'll be doing our experience 3 in the first sitting, which will give us plenty of time to get that done, and then the second sitting will be for the experience 5 and a carte blanche. So we'll just open Friday, Saturday evenings initially. We opened those bookings yesterday. We've already filled up all the bookings for June, and the first couple of weeks of July are almost done as well. So it's been a great response. I think people have got a little bit stir crazy, but it's also going to allow us to continue our à la maison concept moving forward, and we'll just adapt that around the number of covers we're doing here at the restaurant.
So you will be continuing with the à la maison takeout?
Yeah, a lot of people have said to us that they really appreciate the concept, not because of the isolation, everything like that. Something simple as they can't organise a babysitter most weekends, or they don't have the time to be coming to the restaurant often. So a lot of people want us to continue that, to adapt to their certain facets, ways of life afterwards.
So if and when things eventually get back to normal, do you expect to continue to do takeout?
Look, to be honest with you, I don't really think anyone knows what normal's going to be at the moment. I think we're a very long way off coming back to anything that resembles what society was pre-COVID-19 restrictions. So for the foreseeable future, we'll absolutely be continuing the at-home concept, and also the epicerie which we've started. We'll look to transition into that, whether it's off-site or we continue it on-site. But for the foreseeable future, I think dining as we know it has changed, and we need to adapt to it.
It's really good to see that you've been able to adapt to it and keep Restaurant Dan Arnold open. I wish you all the luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Adam Wolfers runs Gerard's just off James Street in Fortitude Valley. Adam, last time I talked to you, you were about to launch a new menu. Then, of course, the restaurants were all shut down. How did this impact you?
Yeah, it was a very big impact on what we were doing before. Obviously, takeaway was a non-existent part of what we do here at Gerard's, but I think we look back on sort of the past 2 months and see how we've evolved and sort of gone with the times. I think it's kind of a really interesting experience to what we've been through in the past 2 months. So, yeah.
And you've been doing a fixed price takeaway, a sort of per person menu that changes daily. How's that worked for you?
Yeah, I mean, when we first decided to go full takeaway, when the virus really hit the whole of Australia and the world at that time, we sort of had to brainstorm on what we can do, how we can be different, and how we can stay alive and keep everyone employed. And the biggest thing is that everyone trying to do the Gerard's style in their homes and keep people interested and want to eat a couple of times a week. We sort of brainstormed and came up with the idea that let's just do 5 nights a week, change the menu every day, every week, and just keep people interested and give people a bit bit of a change in what they eat when they're at home, rather than eating burgers and chips every night.
And has that continued on through? Is it still going well?
Yeah, it's been, the support from all the Brisbane locals and everyone around us has been amazing, and at the moment it's been a great success, thankfully, and everyone's still got a job, which is great.
That's really good. And I've noticed that you've also managed to continue to do some of the collaborations with other chefs, including Saiwa Marubak.
Sawa is the mother of the owners of the restaurant, and she is an amazing home cook. She's a traditional Lebanese food, and we've been meaning to do this for a long time, and at the moment she's here prepping.
I can see her in the background.
So it's good. She's keeping us on our toes and making sure we're not slacking off and doing our job properly. But it's those sorts of things are great, because it like I said, it's changed. It gives us something new and refreshing to look at and see in terms of cooking techniques and all those sort of things. So it's kind of a really nice way to give the Brisbane people something new and exciting to try.
Really good. And when do you think you might be able to reopen, partially or fully?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we're sort of we're just doing our private 10 people at a time, and they can book out the private dining room at the moment. But that until the next stage is sort of relaxed in that. Hopefully we can start opening and letting more people come back. But the takeaway thing is definitely going to be a thing that we're going to keep doing for a while. It's just because it seems to be going quite well, and I think even when everything goes back to normal, I think we'll keep doing the takeaway thing. Obviously, not in the restaurant, but we might do it externally and sort of keep people eating healthily at home.
So takeaway is an economic model?
Yeah, I think it definitely is, because the beauty of it is we know everyone can pre-order it, and we do X amount of portions every night, and there's less wastage, and it just keeps people interested. And, there's a lot of love that's into the food, but it's obviously not the full Gerard's experience that you get in the restaurant, but it's definitely the flavours and the different sort of style of cooking that you get takeaway. So
it's great to see that the love and passion are still there, and that you've managed to stay open. Thank you, Adam, very much.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Shannon Kellam is the owner-operator of Brisbane's acclaimed Montrachet, and just prior to the lockdown opened his new venue, Micah and the Needery, here in Newstead. Shannon, the lockdown could not really have come at a worse time for you, but it's been very useful, I believe.
I don't know if useful is the right word, but I guess you got to try and turn something bad into something good if you can. And certainly for us, it couldn't come at a worse time, but it doesn't change the situation for everybody in the community either. So for us, I guess it was just taking stock of what we've got and what we just completed, and to work out how we can best utilise our facilities and our team to try and keep ourselves engaged into what we're trained to do and what we're employed to do, and to try and look after our staff that are not eligible for any benefits, and look after each other the best we can.
And you're doing takeout, but slightly differently, more of a dine-at-home style. How does that work?
Yeah, we designed and worked out what we were going to do in the event of a shutdown in the weeks leading up to that happening. So the week prior of Monday the 23rd of March, which was the shutdown, the week prior to that we'd actually finalised exactly what we were going to do, and we actually launched our dinner service on the night of Monday the 23rd of March. So it's something that we were quite happy and proud of, because we launched that on the day of shutdown. We sort of took the punt, if you like, that was going to happen. The day that we emptied Montrachet, emptying the cellar, emptying the fridges, shutting the entire restaurant down, at the same time that was happening, we were also packing our first orders the same day. So it's a day that myself and specifically the Montrachet team will certainly never forget.
Well, you must have been one of the few restaurants that was actually prepared for it.
Yeah. I think I think, like all industries, you need to listen to the experts and not kid yourself and make a plan and just stick to it. Whether we got it right or we got it wrong, if that was going to happen or not, at least we'd made our decision what we're going to do, and we're certainly sticking to that, and it certainly paid off for us.
With the takeout or the dine at home, you're doing some of your signature dishes like the twice cooked crab souffle and the seafood bouillabaisse. How do you maintain the quality of that?
Well, it's all obviously through the quality of the produce, working with standardised recipes, and obviously bringing the Montrachet team to our new facility here at Newstead. And we're all under the one roof now of our state-of-the-art new kitchen facility here. So having that finished, which we finished that mid-February, having that facility built and done was obviously our saving grace. To be able to maintain that quality for such a large production and getting it out. Some of the well, not some, but a lot of the days, the majority of the days over the last several weeks, we've had over 1,000 sales in one day just for the Montrachet meal service, and that's not including our pastry production or our wholesale business and our pastry shops. And so we're all producing that at this kitchen, and we have temperature controlled rooms. So, you know, working with seafood, packaging food, it's all in 4 degree environment. So everything's fresh and everything is of the absolute highest of standard.
This is a very impressive facility and purpose-built. It's magnificent. Yeah, I obviously you're going to continue this style of catering for after the things get back to some semblance of normality?
I think so. I think it's been extremely popular, and also it's been a real eye-opener for us to see what people, or I guess how people have enjoyed the offering. We've been absolutely flooded with Instagram posts and Facebook posts and private messages, people showing us what they do at home with the Montrachet meal service and still dressing up, making a nice table setting, and then celebrating their anniversary or their birthdays, especially in the heart of the shutdown when people were really just together at home. And the amount of letters and emails and phone calls we've had on just how it lifted their spirits and whatnot, it actually has been a great feeling for the team to be able to offer that. But we were certainly surprised on how busy we have been. So it's been a great success so far. But obviously with number of restaurants and sites shut down, it's really just helped keep our staff paid and employed and head above water. And it still took 7 to 8 weeks to receive our first job keeper, and for the first quarter, that January to March, where you're still paying $70,000 in superannuation, for example, and stuff like this. So when you've got a big team like us, it was certainly touch and go there for a while. But we've managed to keep 35 staff employed full time since the day of the shutdown. And when you look at some of the large corporations and large hotels, for a husband and wife team, it's something that we're extremely proud of.
No, it's magnificent, it really is. Putting on were you prepared to look in the crystal ball and give us a forecast of what you think might happen in the next 6 months?
Well, my crystal ball worked well for me the first time, but I don't know if I'm going to get 2 goes at it. Look, there's a lot to map out moving forward, especially for someone like us that has multiple sites. And it needs to be well calculated, needs to be very well thought of, and all your team need to be on board with what the strategies are. And to implement all of those things is going to take time. I said to someone the other day, this is like an Indiana Jones movie. One wrong move and you're dead. It's very true, because I think the focus on being COVID compliant and COVID safe, welcoming people into your dining room, will be a huge thing in the not too distant future. Within the next couple of months, it's going to be as important as your professionalism and standard of service to your food and hygiene practices. I think this will be up there with that, if not supersede it. People have got to understand that if you don't get it right, you will finish your business anyway, because one case of contracting the virus within your establishment the stigma not only being shut down for a certain amount of days, the expense involved in sanitising your establishment before reopening, but also the stigma that will now be attached to your business. I think you could confidently say your business will be done and dusted. So every single day people are welcoming guests into their dining room. You're on a knife's edge now. So and if you don't think like that, you're really kidding yourself. So that's why we haven't opened any of our dining rooms, and we won't open any of our dining rooms for the next couple of months.
Okay. All right, well, that's great. It's good to see you're doing well. And, Indiana Jones always came out well in the end, so well done.
Let's hope it's the case for us. We'll give it a good crack anyway.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.